All right, folks, buckle up. We're diving headfirst into the Tesla Pi phone frenzy today.
Yeah, the rumor mill's been working overtime on this one.
It's like someone took every sci-fi movie phone and mashed them together. This YouTube video we're diving into, they are not holding back on the hype.
Not even a little bit.
We're talking a phone that supposedly folds in half, has a screen visible from space.
Quantum dot OLED, they're claiming.
Right. And get this, the body's supposed to be this color-changing graphene thing, like something out of a car commercial, but it's your phone.
It's certainly an attention-grabbing concept, and they're leaning hard into that Tesla design language, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And just when you think they've hit peak wildness, they drop Tesla's self-driving chip, but in a phone. Is that even...
Ambitious, to say the least. I mean, phone processors are getting crazy powerful, but a whole self-driving system in your pocket.
Right. Makes you wonder about battery life.
Right.
And safety, for that matter. Like, is my phone going to drive me into a ditch because it saw a squirrel?
Hopefully not. But hey, at least you'd have Starlink internet to tweet about it, right? Because they're claiming that's built in too.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. And the AI that basically reads your mind. It's like they looked at Apple's whole ecosystem and said, hold my beer, watch this.
The idea of a fully integrated tech ecosystem is compelling, though. Apple's success proves people want their devices to play nice together.
For sure. But can Tesla really pull it off, even with their cars and solar panels and everything?
That's the million-dollar question, especially when you start looking at the specifics, like, what's this phone even made of? The video mentioned titanium and graphene, which sounds impressive, but...
Sounds extensive. And maybe a tad bit fragile for something you're shoving in your pocket every 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Great.
So let's unpack those material claims, because that's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Titanium and graphene, huh? Sounds like we're building Iron Man's phone case. More than something I'm going to trust in my back pocket.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Titanium first, it's super strong, right? And light, which for a phone, that's kind of the dream.
Yeah, nobody wants a phone that doubles as a workout routine.
Exactly. But strong often means easy to scratch. Titanium's not exactly known for bouncing back from every little bing. And phones, let's just say they live a dangerous life.
Yeah, between my keys and my clumsiness. That poor phone's seen some things. So, not ideal then.
Maybe not. Which brings us to graphene. Now, this stuff is legitimately cool. Strong, light, conducts electricity like it's nobody's business. They've been talking about graphene changing the game forever for, like, everything.
So we're good, right? Sign me up for the graphene phone revolution. Where do I pre-order?
Hold your horses. Graphene's amazing in a lab, sure. But making enough to build millions of phones, that's a whole other problem. It's expensive, it's tricky.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
So it's like saying we can all fly to the moon, but we haven't quite figured out how to build the spaceship yet.
Pretty much. Speaking of ambitious promises, that display they were hyping up, always on, brighter than the sun, folds 1,000 times.com.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like we're pushing the limits of physics and common sense there.
A bit. Like, always on displays are cool. A lot of people want that, but the battery life, oof.
And this thing's supposed to be a supercomputer, a self-driving car, and a space laser, all while fitting in your pocket. My old phone could barely handle a phone call without dying. Speaking of, did they even mention battery life in this video?
They mumbled something about revolutionary new tech, but new details. And that goes back to the materials, right? Even if graphene is the future of batteries, if you can't make enough of it, it doesn't matter much.
So less of a product announcement, more of a wish list for the tech gods. But okay, just for fun. Tesla waves a magic wand, makes all this work. Don't they still need an ecosystem? Like, what's this phone work with?
You're hitting on a huge point. A phone's got to be more than just a phone these days. It's got to play nice with your other devices, your headphones, your smart, whatever.
Apple's got that on lock, right? They basically got their own walled garden going on. Sure. Which, hey, people like it. Works pretty well.
It does. For Tesla to compete, they need something really compelling. Not just a cool phone, but a reason to switch from a system you already use every day.
So, are we saying this whole Tesla Pi phone is just a tech fairy tale? Fun to think about, impossible to build?
I wouldn't write it off completely. Tesla's got a history of defying expectations. But yeah, a dose of reality is needed. Real innovation takes time, research, and it's not always flashy.
Kind of like that article we've got, right? CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, they're not building the next iPhone. They're literally smashing atoms.
Talk about a different approach. And the thing is, both are about pushing boundaries, just in totally different ways.
Like, one's a summer blockbuster action movie. The other's a mind-blowing nature documentary, both awesome in their own way.
Exactly. But the Large Hadron Collider, that's not just tech, it's trying to understand the universe's fundamental rules.
Yeah.
That's a whole other level of whoa.
All right, so let's talk atom smashing then, because if we're discussing groundbreaking tech, that's got to be it. So from pocket-sized supercomputers to a machine that smashes atoms. I got to admit, the stuff they're doing at CERN sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's wild, right? This thing is massive, the biggest, most powerful particle accelerator in the world. They're smashing protons together at like almost the speed of light. It's mind-blowing.
And the goal is to, what, unlock the secrets of the universe, figure out what we're all made of, how it all works.
Exactly. They're looking at the tiniest building blocks of matter, the forces that put it all together. It's about answering the biggest questions we can ask about the universe and our place in it.
And they're getting answers. Like, what have they found with this thing?
Well, one of the biggest ones was the Higgs boson, which some people call the God particle.
Okay, I've heard of that, but
Yeah.
refresh my memory.
So it helps explain why things have mass, like why stuff actually weighs something, why we're not just floating around like ghosts. It's super fundamental to, well, everything.
Yeah, okay, that's a pretty big deal. Like finding the missing link that explains reality.
Right. But it's not the only thing. The LHC, it's also helping us study other particles like quarks, fermions, the things that make up atoms.
See, this is what blows my mind. The Tesla Pi phone. It's cool, but it's still just a phone. Upgraded, sure, but still. CERN. They're doing stuff that could rewrite the textbooks.
It's a whole different scale, for sure. But, you know, it's kind of cool to think about both, right? Because they both represent this human drive to push boundaries, to see what's possible.
Totally. Though, no offense to the phone guys, but smashing atoms just has a certain dramatic flair to it. I mean, you start messing with forces of nature like that, people are going to get nervous. Right?
Like, understandably. But the folks at CERN, they're not just flinging particles around willy-nilly. They've got safety protocols, tons of research, the whole shebang.
Good, good. Wouldn't want to accidentally create a black hole in Switzerland or something. But even if we don't open a portal to another dimension, the possibilities are still pretty wild, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we're living in a time where we've got crazy phone rumors, ND, we're unlocking the universe's secrets. It makes you wonder what's next, you know?
Right. Feels like we're on the edge of something big. Well, folks, that's about all the time we've got for today's deep dive. But we want to hear from you. What blew your mind more? The Tesla Pi hype or the CERN reality? Let us know on social media, and we'll catch you next time.